Hey everybody, Ralph Havens here, autoimmuneanswers.com. And I was on a great run yesterday after a great day out by the mountain with Baden. And we were back in town, and I was running along what's called the Interurban Trail here in Bellingham. And I had just finished, felt really, really good. Beautiful day as fall starting to come in. And there was this older guy that I saw on the trail when I was going along my run, walking his dog. And then when I finished, I was by my car because it's about a 6-minute drive from where we live now, so that I can run on a flatter trail. The trails right by where we live have lots of hills, so I run them a couple times a week at the most. And and you could just tell by his smile and by the way he was moving that he would have loved to have talked to me. So I was like, wow, I'm going to go over across the street and talk to this guy as he's walking up there. And he starts talking to me, and we start having a great conversation about the trail and what we do and stuff. And he said that he's 89 years old and that he's a retired MD. He just retired, just retired. And I had seen the building that he owns that went for lease just a few months ago. And he goes, "Oh, that's me. That's me. I'm the. That's why it's for lease. You know, it's my kids are now taking care of it, and we're figuring out what to do with it. But but that's me." And so he retired because he figured it was about time to retire. 89 years old, you know. And so he asked me what I did, and I said I help people overcome autoimmune conditions and anxiety type conditions, and you know, after they've tried everything else. That's those are the people that find me. And he was intrigued, and he's like, "Oh, you know, and you look really good. How are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm 60 years old, and I do a lot of stuff. One of the things I do a lot is this qigong with a very specific mindset thing, a way to look inside." And I explained that, and he was really interested in life and stuff. And he was an eye doctor, an ophthalmologist, and he said, "Yeah, you know, here's what gave me hope and made me smile." He said, "You know, all this talk about viruses and bacteria and infections and stuff, I don't think that's quite right. I don't think that's quite right because those bugs have been around for a long, long time, and they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Viruses, bacteria, they're everywhere. And what matters is how healthy the person is." And I was like, "That's brilliant. That's an old style MD, the old style MD. You know, that fits right in with the chiropractic model or the osteopathic model or our model." And that is that we don't need to fight every little virus and bacteria out there, you know, with vaccines and with drugs, and try to like fight all these seemingly bad guys, the viruses and the bacteria. We just got to make ourselves healthier so that we can actually live in the environment and function and thrive. It's not about us versus the bacteria or us versus the viruses. It's us being healthy. And one of the keys with this is, how do you move? So, you know, if you see, when I saw this 89-year-old guy, he didn't look 89. He looked maybe 70. And his movement was different. And so, you know, if you see a healthy child moving, they can move. I mean, their whole body moves, and every little piece moves, kind of like a dancer or something. And you see somebody that's, you know, old and disgusted with life, and life hasn't gone well, and they've done lots of things to their body that have hurt them, like cigarettes or other ways of eating that aren't good, or, you know, they just haven't had a good, healthy life. You watch them move, and they're hunkered down, and they move like this. And so the key to life is movement, or it's at least one of the signs that life is going really well. And so, you know, when you think of like this is one of the keys to healing, and how I look at the body differently than a lot of the Western medicine kind of ideas that feel like you have to fight everything. The idea is that if you have, say, a rib cage that moves really well, and then the lungs move really well, and they can expand really well, then that means a lot of good blood goes into the area, blood goes out of the area, the lymphatic system goes, fluid flows in, fluid flows out, there's space between the different organs and the different arteries and veins and joints, and all the little joints move really well in every direction, and they're lubricated. And then there's this energetic component to the body that when things are moving really well, there's a space between organs and between things and between inside joints. And in that space is energetic. It's energetic, and it has a little life. It has life to it. And so if everything moves really well, then things flow. There's a flow. And then, yes, there's viruses and there's bacteria and there's all sorts of pathogens and all sorts of stuff, but it's a free flow of like activity and health. And the blood can come in and the blood can go out, and the white blood cells can come in and get rid of the stuff that's the not so good stuff, and then it can flow out. And so if you can think of the body as like that, then the idea of how do you heal from a certain condition, like a certain autoimmune condition, or how do you heal from a certain mental condition, or how do you heal from a certain infection? It's not different. It's not like, oh, you got to go kill this bacteria, or oh, you got to go get rid of this inflammation, or you got to go replace a joint here. It's like, no, you can also think of it like, how can we get you healthier so that everything moves, and there's a free flow of information and energy and blood and lymph and nerve flow. The chiropractic model, the osteopathic model, our integrative manual therapy model, the energetic model, there's a free flow. And so when I think of how do you get over autoimmune and anxiety conditions, the same way you get over anything. It's basically, how do you get the free flow of information and health and blood and lymph through your body so that your body can heal naturally, right? Doesn't that feel different than there's viruses that you got to attack with the vaccine, and there's bacteria that you got to attack with antimicrobial soaps, and there's all sorts of things you got to protect yourself from. It's like, what if you could just get healthier and healthier and move, and there was a free flow of information, and then you could actually live in the world, and not be in a fight kind of thing. So this morning it came to me that I'm going to make a new thing, and that's down the road, a new thing about healing and how to help you get healthier. But right now I do have that in my End Anxiety Forever course, and it's not just End Anxiety Forever, it's to get healthier. Because when I was dealing with my anxiety and my teeth that were always getting cavities, and some of the other conditions I had, it's not like I worked to get rid of things. I just worked to get myself healthier and move more and everything working better. And then my body healed naturally. So that's a different model. And when I talked to that 89-year-old doctor yesterday, it was like, wow, that's how he thinks. The old way of thinking is pretty darn good. That let's just get you healthier, and then you can fight off anything that needs fighting off, and you can live with anything that needs to be lived with, and you can really live. So that's the idea that came to me this morning, and it was inspired by one of the comments on one of my videos from yesterday, and so thank you, JK, for that and for that inspiration. So I'd love to hear what you think about healing and what you're going through. So go ahead and subscribe, click below, and comment, and let me know what's going on in your life. And let's get out there and live. All right, everybody. Bye now.